Off the ice, Frank, an interesting story coming today as NHL franchise valuations were updated or released by Sportico, and the NHL is officially an all-billionaire club. Every team now has a valuation of at least $1 billion, and I guess that's what happens when you go from having Arizona to Utah, as that one got kind of checked off the list. But what kind of led to this jump and this spike?
Well, it's really a rising tide from all professional sports. Like if you think about it from the major four perspective in North America, you see that there's kind of really only 130 spots available in the club, so to speak. And so if you want a pro sports team, which has been proven to be the best place to park your money kind of all time, this is, you'd want to look at the NHL and say, hey, this has been the lowest barrier to entry compared to all the other sports. Like think about where this league was 5 years ago. Only 5 teams in the NHL are worth $1 billion. Now all 32 are worth at least $1 billion for the first time ever. So that plus, because of those continued valuations, you've seen the private equity market change a lot. And so private equity, even though they have a non-controlling stake, hey, we're going to buy 20% of the team and it's going to be at this really impressive valuation. And that money is going to keep going up and up and up. And for NHL owners, they're silent partners. So wait, you mean I can get a huge chunk of money in cash right now from you and you don't get any say on how I run my team? It's kind of been an amazing investment from the private equity portion too. Pat, if you can throw some of those numbers up there again, just to highlight for everyone and go to the bottom of the list if you can, 17 through 32. I mean, look at this right here. The Florida Panthers, Vinny Viola bought that team in 2013, so 11 years ago, for $250 million. They're up 400% since then. Like, that's insane. And they won a Stanley Cup last year. So look at the Tampa Bay Lightning. They're actually on the top page. They're the, I think, 11th most valuable team in the league right now. They just sold a controlling share of that team that's going to happen a couple years from now, 3 years from now, for $1.8 billion. Jeff Vinik bought that team for $110 million in 2011 or 2010. 13, 14 years since. They've gone to the playoffs 11 times. They've won 2 Stanley Cups, been to 3 Stanley Cup finals, and they've gone from 110 million to 1.8 billion. That's insane value. So the league has sort of quietly been saying for a long time, our teams are worth so much more than these public valuations give them credit for. And I think when you start to see Ottawa for 950 million and Utah 1.2 billion, that's the lowest barrier to entry with a franchise that's struggled more than any other. I think the big question for me is, what's the next expansion fee going to be in the NHL? It was 500 million for Vegas, 650 for Seattle. You look at that chart and you say, is it unreasonable for the NHL to ask for 2 billion the way the franchise values have gone up? And if they sit back and wait and just take their time, it might be worth even more.
Well, yeah, as much as my first thought was, well, no wonder they're looking at expansion. They could get $1 billion plus, or they would get $1 billion plus.
They already got 1.2 for Utah.
Yeah, like I think you make a decent point of like, whoa, wait 5 years. Where is this thing at in 5 years? Could you be getting $3-4 billion for a new franchise?
And then all the other owners are sitting there going, 3 billion divided by 30, because Seattle and Vegas don't get to partake in that, I don't believe. That is a really nice check to be written to you to do absolutely nothing but vote yes.
Just, a little check on a piece of paper, raise your hand in a meeting, and boom, get a handful of millions of dollars. Interesting stuff. Frank has a full story up at dailyfaceoff.com. We'll throw the link in the description of today's episode or in the chat so you can all check it out after this. What's up, hockey fans? If you enjoyed that video, then you need to be hitting the subscribe button right here at Daily Faceoff. Exclusive interviews and analysis from our hockey insider Frank Saravalli, fantasy updates from Brock Sagan, and a daily live show at noon Eastern, Monday through Friday. You don't want to miss any of the fantastic content, so hit that subscribe button.